My name is Max Strauss with ProInterviews.org, Facebook.com/ProInterviews, and Twitter.com/ProInterviews. I'd like to welcome you to the interview with Corey Peters. Peters attended the University of Kentucky. He was a cornerstone on their defense for 4 years. He entered the 2010 NFL Draft and was drafted in the 3rd round, 83rd overall, to the Atlanta Falcons. He started 15 games for them last season and got his first sack against the Panthers in the final week of the regular season. Here's the interview with Corey Peters, and I hope you enjoy the collages also. Make sure to check below to read his answers to the personal questions. How do you connect with your fans?
The way the world is set up today with social media and that sort of thing, I'm really big into Twitter. If anybody asks me anything on Twitter, if it's a reasonable question and worth responding to, I'll respond to it and that sort of thing. But, I'm incredibly blessed to be in the situation that I am, and I've always been a person that felt like, being able to play football and being in the NFL is 100% God-given and that sort of thing. So I'll never be, too big to stop and speak to anybody or sign an autograph or anything, that sort of thing. So, I just try to always be available, to always make myself very approachable and that sort of thing.
You were in a movie, Late Rounders. What was that all about?
Late Rounders basically follows myself and 4 other guys. It goes from my journey right after college, combine training, to combine to pro days, and then ultimately draft days and all our draft parties and that sort of thing. And it was, I think it turned out really well, and it kind of gives you a perspective of those guys that are not first round picks and really have no idea where they're going to get drafted. And those guys probably stress out a little bit more about the whole situation because some of the guys in the film don't actually make the team. So reality is prevalent, and it's back to the real world for some guys.
Was it like a fun experience, or?
It was very fun. Just hanging out with the guys, and the cameras were took a while to get used to, but you got used to it. And I think it'll be good for me to have an opportunity to show it to my kids and let them see how I was back in the day.
What was your high school football experience like?
My high school experience was very pleasurable, very pleasant. I played at Louisville Central High School, Louisville, Kentucky, and we were a good program, a good team, and they had a lot of good players. And I felt like the coach there, Steve Cerati at the time, was a good kind of place where really taught us right from wrong and helped make us accountable and become better men. And I think that's the most important thing in high school football.
What was the transition like to Kentucky?
I think it was pretty good for me. I was a hometown kid. I was rated pretty well coming out of high school, so I was a recruit that a lot of people knew when I got to school. So they opened their arms to me and they showed me a lot of love. And, I knew I had an opportunity to meet a lot of the players that were coming in before I actually got up there and do all-star games and stuff like that. So, it was instant connections and instant friendships and, some experiences that I wouldn't change for the world.
What was it like to play in the SEC?
I think it's a league like no other. It's easily the best college football league out there. And, if you can make it in the SEC, you can make it anywhere. But, I think it's the best preparation tool to get you ready for the league. You got to bring your lunch bell every week and be ready to play. And, you're going to play some good opponents and some big guys as you're playing defensive line. And, to put it in perspective, I lined up in practice against Mike Johnson, who went to Alabama, same guy, battled for 4 years in college. And opening game last year, we went up to Pittsburgh, and I'm lining up against Pouncey, who was the same guy I battled with in Florida for 4 years. So, that's the reality of the SEC football.
Do you have a favorite memory from your days at Kentucky?
I don't know. I had a lot of favorites, man. I felt like those experiences were the best of my life. Some of the stuff that I remember the most is stuff that you may not think, like, riding that bus back from always remember, and the fun we had, and just sitting back there talking, shooting the breeze, and that's
What was your draft day experience like?
for me. It was, I think, comparatively, I had a great draft day. We had targeted the third round, and that's what we were kind of waiting on. So we got to the third round, and it wasn't too much longer after that, so I really had no complaints about it. But I felt like the situation that I ended up with again couldn't be better. I look forward to getting out there next season and improving.
What was your first training camp like?
It was rough, but we get through it. Just got to go out there and battle every day and keep proving your worth. And, let everybody know that you're out there to work and you're going to continue to work hard regardless of what happens. You come from a situation in college where you're the big man on campus and you're the guy, to a place where you're the low man on the totem pole and you're working your way back up, which was a new experience. Is something that I hadn't done since 4 years earlier in college.
Throughout your rookie season, you earned significant playing time. What was it like to get your first sack against Carolina in the last week of the season?
I just kind of laughed at it because that was probably one of my worst rushes of the year, to be completely honest with you. And sometimes it's just how the chips fall, And I've had better rushes and some great rushes throughout the season that, the quarterback got rid of the ball or he ran or that sort of thing. And, sometimes it just happens that way. But, incredibly excited, kind of shocked, and, I had all these celebrations planned and all that went right out the window.
What was it like to be part of a winning franchise your rookie year and also go to the postseason?
Man, it was great, they always say it's so much better when you're winning. And so far in the league, that's all I've experienced is, winning and that sort of thing. And, I would hate to be in a situation where that wasn't the case. I have friends that are within that organization that have struggled, recently, and, their attitude around the facility is just, so much more tense, and, everybody's worried about losing jobs and that sort of thing. So, hopefully we can continue to keep it rolling, and I feel like we're headed in the right direction with a young team. And, hopefully we'll be in the playoffs every year.
Do you have a favorite memory with the Falcons from this past season?
I don't know, man. I remember, rookie night. I have to thank all the older defensive linemen out. We had a good time. It was a fun experience. It was a situation. It was probably my first situation where I got to hang out with them and, just kind of be on the same level and that sort of thing, as opposed to, being, performing rookie duties and, fetching stuff and that sort of thing, which I don't mind, but, the rookie night experience, even though it was on my tab, I had a good time and, we had fun experiences.
Do you have a nickname?
No, people call me CP. That was more back home in college, that sort of thing. Last year everybody just called me Real. So hopefully next year we'll develop some kind of nickname that's more of a one that's a reference to me, like CP or something like that.
Do you have a favorite charity or foundation that you support?
Well, I don't. I'm trying to formulate my foundation and that sort of thing, but that's still a while away. It's in the building stage, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to target the range of guys that I want to get to. But I can tell you that it's going to be something dealing with black males, and trying to ensure that they make the transition from high school to college. Get them in there to take ACTs and SATs, and kind of give them a kickstart and help find them scholarships and that sort of thing. And that's something that I'm in the process of working with a couple people doing, and hopefully that'll be up to ground by this time next year.
If you could describe yourself as any ice cream flavor, what would you be and why?
That's tough. Let me see. I don't know. I have to think about that one. I don't know. I'm pretty laid back guy, so something smooth and tasty, I guess. I hate to say vanilla. That's too plain, right? I don't know. I'm a pretty laid back guy, just kind of even kill, and I feel like I'm easy to get along with, that sort of thing. And I think I'm a joy to be around. Some of us say vanilla because everybody likes vanilla.
So for someone who wants to play in the NFL, what's the best advice you can give them?
Honestly, I would say just follow, just stay the course and do at every level. Don't look ahead and try to, And in high school, I don't feel like you should be thinking about getting to the NFL. I think you should be doing everything you can to be the best high school football player you can be, making your coaches happy, doing what they ask of you and that sort of thing. And if you do that, you'll get scholarship opportunities and you'll get opportunity to play college football. And once you get in college, you do the same thing. Try to impress your coaches, do what they need you to do, be the best college football player that you can be. And if you're one of the best college football players, you'll get opportunity to play in the NFL.
All right, so is there anything you want to tell your fans that we haven't really talked about?
The players want to play football. They want to play football too. So, I'm right there with y'all in the same boat that they are. And just sitting back every day and hoping that there's a season and the lockout is over as soon as possible.
Thank you so much for your time, Corey. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for listening to the interview with Corey Peters. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you leave your comments below. Please check out my website, prointerviews.org, for other interviews. Like the Facebook page at facebook.com/prointerviews. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/prointerviews. Subscribe to me on YouTube at youtube.com/prointerviews. Thanks again for listening. Stay tuned for more, and feel free to contact me.